Brandeston as well as they come to the first. Young Hustler second schedule and General Pershing. And all safely over it with Fragrant Dawn just the back marker. Freeline finishing also in rear. Egypt Mill Prince has moved up to join the leaders as they jump the second, and in fact jumps it just about in the lead. Egypt Mill Prince on the outside of General Pershing. Young Hustler next, then second schedule and Armagret, and behind them Brandeston, and then comes another Coral as they jump the third. Egypt Mill Prince landed in the lead there from General Pershing and Armagret on the outside of Young Hustler, and then second schedule and Brandeston. Then another Coral and Stunning Stuff, and behind them Morley Street, and behind Morley Street is Fragrant Dawn and Freeline finishing the back marker, and Egypt Mill Prince the leader by about 2 from General Pershing. Then comes Armagret and then Young Hustler. Behind Young Hustler is second schedule, then Brandeston, then another Coral and Stunning Stuff and Morley Street. Behind Morley Street is Fragrant Dawn and then Freeline finishing, and Egypt Mill Prince bowling along in the lead here and going a good gallop too as he jumps the fourth. Clear of General Pershing, Armagret and then Young Hustler, and behind him second schedule and then Brandeston, and behind Brandeston is Stunning Stuff as they jump number 5. Egypt Mill Prince clear of General Pershing, Armagret, Young Hustler, Brandeston in similar order for over the last 4 to 5 fences. Second schedule not far off the pace. Then comes Waterloo Boy, Fragrant, another Coral I should say, I invariably call him Waterloo Boy, a stable companion. Another Coral over on the far side, the 5 times course winner, and an Egypt Mill Prince landed in the lead there from General Pershing. Then Armagret and Young Hustler in the second schedule, and Brandeston and another Coral, and Fragrant Dawn has got closer. Stunning Stuff and Morley Street and Freeline finishing over the 7th. And they all clear it and go out into the country. 17 fences in all to be jumped this time, and Egypt Mill Prince bouncing off this firming ground, a couple of lengths clear of General Pershing. Then Armagret and Young Hustler in second schedule and Brandeston. Behind them another Coral, and then Fragrant Dawn and Morley Street. Stunning Stuff and finally Freeline finishing. They run down to another plain one. This will be the 8th. The water is number 9. Egypt Mill Prince and Young Hustler on the inside and General Pershing. Second schedule, not far off the pace as they come down to the water. Egypt Mill Prince is going to jump it in the lead. Egypt Mill Prince lands from second schedule on the outside. On the inside, Young Hustler. Armagret back in 4, 5 General Pershing now. This is the first of the ditches. Egypt Mill Prince lands over it from second schedule and Young Hustler. Another plain one before the final ditch. Number 11, Egypt Mill Prince from Young Hustler, second schedule. Armagret comes next. Little gap then to Fragrant Dawn. Behind Fragrant Dawn, General Pershing. And then Stunning Stuff and another Coral and Brandeston. And behind them come Morley Street. The final ditch, 6 from home. Egypt Mill Prince from Young Hustler in second schedule. Marvellous jump by Young Hustler on the inside, just about takes it up now from second schedule as Egypt Mill Prince drops back to third, 5 from home. Young Hustler and second schedule land almost together. Second schedule a better jump though that time. Second schedule the leader now from Young Hustler, 4 left to jump. Back in third is Fragrant Dawn, who's still making significant progress. A close 4 is Egypt Mill Prince fighting his way back now, but second schedule is the leader at the fence at the top of the hill. Second schedule lands 4 out in the lead from Young Hustler, Egypt Mill Prince and Fragrant Dawn still going well just in behind them. But second schedule the leader from Young Hustler, Egypt Mill Prince and Fragrant Dawn under Declan Murphy. 3 from home this is. Second schedule lands in the lead from Young Hustler, Egypt Mill Prince and Fragrant Dawn still getting closer. Freeline finishing is back in 5th. They're racing towards the home turn now, and as they do so, it's second schedule in the lead from Young Hustler, Fragrant Dawn and Egypt Mill Prince, and then comes Freeline finishing. Coming down to the second last now in the Tripleprint Gold Cup, and as they do so, it's Young Hustler and second schedule, but Fragrant Dawn is still breathing down their necks, a very close third. Young Hustler's going to land in the lead over the second last, second schedule, second and third, Fragrant Dawn, and still making ground. They're coming now to the final fence. And it's Young Hustler from Fragrant Dawn now moves threateningly into second. Young Hustler from Fragrant Dawn. Young Hustler from Fragrant Dawn. Freeline finishing. Landed in third. It's Young Hustler being pressed now by Fragrant Dawn over on the far side. Young Hustler on the near side. Fragrant Dawn on the far side. It's going to be another triumph for Declan Murphy. Fragrant Dawn wins the triple print from Young Hustler and Freeline finishing. That's the 1, 2, 3 and 4, and a very close fourth it is between Stunning Stuff and Second Schedule, and then General Pershing, and behind them Morley Street and Armagret, and behind them Egypt Mill Prince, who faded, and another Coral. And so the result: first, number 9, Fragrant Dawn, owned by D&S Mercer, trained by Martin Pipe and written by Declan Murphy. Second was number 4, Young Hustler, owned by Mr. G.M. McEachern, trained by Nigel Twiston Davis and written by Carl Llewellyn. And third was number 8, Freeline finishing, owned by Mr. Irving Stroul, trained by Nicky Henderson and written by Jamie Osborne, with fourth, number 11, Stunning Stuff.
They went very fast right from the outset, and that means that there won't be too many of them fighting out the finish. At this fence, Young Hustler just in behind there. On the inside is Second Schedule. On the outside in the light colours is Egypt Mill Prince, who'd set a fast gallop and then been headed, and there are dangers coming from behind.
Must be a nightmare for Richard and Woody. He sees Fragrant Dawn, the horse he's got off to ride Egypt Mill Prince, absolutely hat-cantering under Declan Murphy. We saw him in this position on Staunch Friend. As I've already said this afternoon, Declan loves riding races like this, and there isn't a better tactician riding. Adrian Maguire pushing another schedule along, and same as Carl Llewellyn on the left on Young Hustler with the blue and yellow, pushing him along. Carl gets a great jump out of him at the second last, but it's to no avail because Declan is still sitting there comfortably. I thought just for a stride or two here, he'd given Young Hustler just enough rein for him to get away, but he's timed his run absolutely beautifully. It's a little bit worrying for a jockey here when you've sat as comfortably as this. You don't want to miss the last and have the horse in front of you go and jump the last really well, but Young Hustler just shortens up a little bit. It jumps it well, so does Fragrant Dawn. Doesn't get away from it quite as quickly as Young Hustler. And Declan, I wonder what's going through his mind now. Has he left it too late? Is the horse going to quicken up? But relentlessly, he makes the ground up.
And what we mustn't forget is that it signals the return of MC Pipe, Martin Charles Pipe, back in the winner's enclosure for a big race again. Remember, he only paid 20 grand from this at the sales, this horse, and he won 31,000 today, his first run for him. That'll put a smile on the Nicholshane trainer's face. And Declan Murphy rode a superb race, and the winner, 14 to 1, back this morning at 20 to 1. That was 100.